Welcome back to Pro Cycling Manager 2022 for the start of the second season of Tudor Pro Cycling. We are still a UCI Continental team, but we hope that it is our last season in this division. We want to become a pro team at the end of 2023. The key element for Tudor to become a pro team is youth development. We had a team that was young and grew already over the first season. We added some more youngsters to that, youngsters that will grow over the coming season and hopefully can become good enough to bring a pro team status to us. Today's video is brought to you by Opera GX, the browser for gamers. Opera GX has a plethora of fascinating features. GX Control allows you to control the GPU, CPU, and RAM usage of your browser to enhance your gaming experience. Within the settings, you can customize Opera GX the way you want it to look, starting off with basic themes, but also an in-depth configuration screen so that you can make the browser look exactly the way you want it. If you like what you see, check out the link in the description, download Opera GX. Next to that, download GX Mobile on your phone for a connected experience across your devices. One last time, check out Opera GX through the link in the description. The first of our new signings is Ivan Romeo, 19 years old, 72 hills already, and got good potential to grow more in the future. Next up, Leonard van Eetveld, also a puncher. 2 years older though, 21 with only 71 hills, but some great potential in the puncher area. Gage Hecht is not a puncher, he's a cobbler flat guy, basically an engine for us. Next signing then, 19-year-old Fredheim from Norway. He's a sprinting talent, he's got 69 sprint right now, but 6 potential when it comes to sprinting, so will become one of the better sprinters out there. Fabio Christen is a bit of an odd one because while this man has 4.5 potential, it's not showing in any individual discipline. Oppositely, Gustav Wang is a big talent, 5-star potential in total with 5-star potential across nearly every single discipline except sprinting and punching. He is mostly a time trialist though, with 68 time trial at 19 years old. Lastly, we scouted Nino Blanc from the gutter. I've got no clue what this guy is decent at. Time trial apparently, 4.5-star, Baradur apparently, but it's not directly showing in the stats yet. 65 time trial at the age of 18. Obviously, next to these signings, we still have our old talent, Fodevaux, Vogel, Bonnet, Flynn, Kellerman, Voisard, but I want to focus on Fodevaux. I think this man grew when it comes to his sprint. 72 sprint, 73 acceleration. I think he was 70 at the end of last year. Meanwhile, Baudin is still a puncher for us. Voisard is a climber for us. Having done a recap of the team itself, let's take a look what calendar I selected for these riders. Honestly, it is quite simple. It's a similar schedule as last year. We added some races like Mallorca, for example, or like Vuelta. We also added Torino and Burgos throughout the season. I want to try and do better at the races we already did, and want to try and fight against the better riders, Vuelta riders for example, in the races that I added to this list. For example, at the Tour of the Alps last year, we won the first stage in a bit of a fluke way by attacking in the last descent. I want to do better than just that and the KOM jersey. I want to try and fight for GC in some way, and I'd like to do the same at some other races, like Burgos for example near the end of the season, but that's gonna be a tough one I think with Tudor Pro Cycling, but you never know. We are finishing off the season at the Italian Classics with Emilia, Varesine and also Piemonte, so that should add a challenge there as well. Last year our sponsor was super happy with us, despite us ruining our sponsor objectives. This year I'd like to do better when it comes to sponsor objectives. I'd like to get at least half of them, but I'm aiming for every single one of course. When it comes to the individual planning of the riders, I decided to do it mostly off camera because we've done this before, we've done it last season. Same for the objectives of every single rider, but here are the most important ones. With Alex Baudin, we aim to peak 4 times this year, starting off in Mallorca, then Tour of the Alps, Tour de l'Ain, we finish off at the Italian Classics. Another rider that peaks for the Italian Classics is Sean Flint, Trevale Varesine. We've also got the Great British Champs and we start the season with Bessèges. Fodevaux will focus on sprints in Mallorca, Adriatica Ionica and Burgos. When it comes to the Nain Trop-Roléon, we've got 2 riders focusing on it, Gage Hecht and Peter Kellerman. Our Spanish puncher will focus on Spanish races like Mallorca, Asturias and Burgos at the end of the year. Van Eetveld, another puncher, Bessèges, Alps, Tour de Wallonie and also the Belgian National Championships because it's a punchy parcours. Vogel obviously for the sprints at Bessèges, Wallonie and Quatrejours de Dunkerque. Currently our best climber, Yanis Voisard, aims to ride most of the mountain stages in the year. Tour de Alvar starting off, Alps second goal, third goal Burgos and finishing off at Gran Piemonte, a final mountain classic. Those are the most important riders in our team when it comes to leadership in races. Obviously, having set the objectives, we also have to set the pre-season form in the lead up towards these objectives, so I did that. That leaves us with one more thing to do, setting up the scouting. Shockingly, it looks like we lost 2 of our scouts. I'm guessing I was supposed to extend them before the end of last season, but I clearly didn't do that. Anyway, let's sign some new scouts. Luca Myers, Swiss, national reputation. I'm pretty sure this is the same scout we had last year, so let's just rehire him. I think Umberto Insalvini is the other scout we had last year, an Italian one, but in all honesty, the other guy is also Italian when it comes to territory, so I might just get another guy. Theo Gaillard, pretty expensive, 3 on France, 2 on Benelux, or Belux, because Netherlands is not involved in that. I might sign this guy, because France and Belgium are probably going to have a lot of riders to scout from, so we might have more riders to scout from. Yes, I just said the same thing twice, but you know what I mean. One thing is certain, I'm sending Theo Gaillard to France right here, right now. There we go, that's one country he'll go to. He's got 3 green bars left. Should I also send him to Belgium? That is the question. I think I will. There we go. He's going to 2 countries. Obviously, Luca Meyer is going to be sent towards Switzerland because he's Swiss. You didn't see that coming, did you? By the way, credits to the developers of PCM because last season I complained about not being able to hover over the name of a scout to figure out their territories. Now, that specific thing is not available, but they added this right here, an information button that you can hover over to see the actual territories and the levels that those scouts are in those territories. So this is a welcomed addition to this page. Anyway, because of that feature, I know that Luca Meyer is good at Germany and Italy as well, so let's send this guy to Germany. There we go, Germany selected, Luca Meyer, and he selected as well. He's now to 2 countries, and he's got the ability to do more, but do we want that? Because he has a reduced workload, he's gonna be more efficient at scouting, so is it even clever to send Gaillard to 2 countries at the same time? I don't know, so I'm going to remove Benelux from Gaillard. I'm going to go for that double efficiency bonus. When it comes to Sawadawogo, obviously we won't be scouting in Europe with him, so let's head over to Africa. When it comes to Northern Africa, it looks like Eritrea has a update when it comes to its training structures. The training structures of the country have progressed in 2022. Pretty cool to see. He's from Burkina Faso, and he is good at which regions in Africa? Both. So I might just send him to Eritrea. Why not? There we go. I would also like to send him to Rwanda because obviously the World Championships in Rwanda will happen in a few years, so we gotta get some riders for that. Anyway, Gaillard to France, Meyer to Germany and Switzerland, and Sawadawogo to both sides of Africa. So that's pretty good. Actually, I forgot one more thing, putting the axis of training and the trainer on each individual rider, so let's do that. There we go, both the axis of training and the trainer have been set. That brings us to our first race of the season, the Vuelta a Mallorca. We've got 5 stages ahead of us. In real life, these are 5 individual events. In game, it's 1 stage race. Starting off with a sprint, another sprint afterwards, a day for the punchers on day 3, another day for the punchers on day 4, and a sprint to finish it off. We've got a pretty strong selection at the start. Alex Baudin will be our big hitter at the start. Holy crap, he grew. 74 hill, 77 acceleration. Jesus Christ, this man is a monster now. Oh la la, what a man, what a myth, what a legend. Next to him, we've got Foidevo as sprinter with Fredheim as our lead out. Gage Heck probably as ruler of that lead out. Romeo as mountain domestique together with Kristen and Nino Blanc to get water bottles to everyone. That's his goal for this race. We are not in the favorites list of stage 1, but let's prove them wrong. Robin Foidevo, let's try and get a result here. In the last 3 kilometers now, our train is not looking that strong. Fredheim is ready to launch right now, though. We've got Foidevo in the wheel. Can we still get past? Good lead out by Fredheim. Foidevo is launching from his wheel. Pellegrini tries to come past Dujardin. Foidevo might take it. Brustenga last minute? Really? We're gonna get beaten on the line by Brustenga. Mark Brustenga of Trek Segafredo wins. Oh my god, so close. So bloody close to a first victory. I won't lie, I thought we had it. I thought we had our first victory on our first race of the season, but no. We get beaten on the line by a Trek Segafredo rider. Mark Brustenga, has he grown when it comes to his sprint stat? It looks to be 74, so it's understandable that we lose, although we did have a very good day with Foidevo. Anyway, let's try that again. Perhaps on this stage, a bit more hilly when it comes to the parkour with a second cat climb in the last 50 kilometers, but on paper that should not influence the final sprint, I would think. 3.5 kilometers to go. Hegd is launching from the wheel of Kristen. We've got Fredheim in the wheel after a perfect lead out on stage 1. Can he do it again on this stage? That is the question. Hecht can launch. We will launch with Fredheim in this corner. Fodevaux in the wheel. Losing the wheel a bit. Let's hope we can still come past right now with a K to go. Inkhorn versus Fodevaux on the right. Fodevaux versus Brustenga. Our energy ran out too quickly. It looks like it's gonna be Eduardo Prades taking it. Eduard Prades. I added a no where there was none. Boivin second. I get a solid 7th. That's not solid, but I guess we'll take it. We tried, but Fodevaux could not hold the wheel of Stian Fredheim, so he lost energy trying to follow him, and that's why he didn't have the energy when he needed to in the sprint itself. Oh my god, the competition here when it comes to the climbing is absolutely mental. Enric Mas, Michael Woods, Nelson Paulus, Carlos Godriguez, Davide Formulo, and it keeps on going rider by rider. We have Alex Baudin, a 74 hill puncher, so let's see what David here can do against Goliath. Looks like Alex Baudin is starting today with 77 hill and 72 mountain with a +2 days, so that's good for us. Hopefully that's the spark we need to get something out of this. I decided to put Gage Hecht in the breakaway, not to actually get something out of this breakaway, but to make sure that the peloton is chasing the breakaway, to make sure that we don't have to chase from the peloton, and that's exactly what's happening. Frale at the front for Ineos. Hecht's work in the breakaway paid off. We're now going on to the final hill of the day. Here it is, Port d'Andrax. We've got Kristen setting up Romeo and Baudin on the final hill. On 99, that is too much, so let's do 92-ish, something like that. Kristen out of the way. I will put Baudin himself on 95. I'll get Romeo to protect him. My positioning is terrible right here. Let's do 96, something like that. Let's see if we can head around. Let's wait. 98, let's wait. Let's launch right now. Baudin, can he get past? Can Baudin get past? Paulus here somehow. Paulus, Baudin, he's got energy. Baudin's got energy. The others don't. Alex Baudin takes it. Alex Baudin is going to win the 3rd stage of the Vuelta Mallorca. Our first victory of the season right here. There he is, our first time on the podium in 2023. Alex Baudin, it had to be him, right? Taking the first win for the team after being our MVP last year. Wonderful performance. GC-wise, Marc Brustenga apparently survived today, so that's a bit shocking. He's still leader, we are 3rd on same time. The question for the next stage is simple. Can we drop the likes of an Eduard Prades, Brustenga and so forth while not being beaten by the better climbers on the road? The likes of a Mas, Caruso, Lutsenko and so forth. That's gonna be the deciding factor when it comes to GC in this Mallorca challenge. Anyway, let's give it our best. Oh, this is a tough one. Alex Baudin with a -1 on the day. His stats are not amazing today. Romeo with a +3, but his hill stat becomes 76, better than Baudin, but his mountain stat is only 66, that is worse than Baudin, so I think Baudin remains favorite. I think he keeps our trust. With about 60 kilometers to go, we are moving towards the bigger climb of the day. It's supposedly 2 second cat climbs, but I consider it 1 climb with a flat section in the middle. I will be honest, I'm a bit scared. I hope that the tempo on it is not significant. We have to survive it with Baudin. If we do, we can compete for the stage because, once again, the finish of the stage is a punchy finish. Michael Woods has had his team pace the majority of the climb. De Marquis, Seb Berwick and so forth. Baudin and Romeo trying to survive. Kristen can protect Romeo, Fodevaux can try and protect Baudin a tiny bit. I think we'll be able to get over this because we are over this actually. We are at the top, so let's try and settle ourselves in. Let's recover and let's aim for the next punch towards the end there. Actually, I've got the energy to control the stage myself here, so let's have Baudin pace on 87. Let's do that. We've got Formulo, Fabro and so forth making moves. Miquel on the right, Padepanter, Carlos Rodriguez. Let's just hope we can hold on. For now we can. 1.4k to the top. We'll try and lead out Baudin for the victory right now. We've got a perfect lead out set up in my opinion. 3 riders in a row. 2 kilometers to go. I'm going to switch towards Romeo right now. Want to make sure that Kristen doesn't block our team here. 99. Let's launch right now with Romeo and Baudin can do so as well right now in this section. Is it too late? It might be. Baudin comes around against Enric Mas. Baudin for a 2nd win in a row and bonus seconds, meaning that he wins Mallorca if I survive the final sprint stage. Another victory for Alex Baudin, starting off the season with a banger. 2 stage wins in a row on the podium for the leaders just. We've got 10 seconds on basically Lutsenko, Prades and Brustenga. I don't think those guys will actually get to Baudin in the final stage unless Prades wins the stage, so let's avoid that. Fodevaux crashed twice in the last stage and abandoned the race, so I guess we're going to be sprinting with Stian Fredheim. an opportunity for the 19-year-old youngster here. Obviously, he is not our main goal here. My goal is simple. Alex Baudin needs to get to the finish line and make sure he secures that leader's jersey. Since we are in the lead of the GC, we have taken responsibility to chase the breakaway that has some riders that are actually pretty close in GC, like this Arais guy. 329 behind, so Nino Blanc is doing his work, not only bottles for the riders, but also riding at the front of the peloton apparently, so he's been promoted. There we go, this is what I hoped for other teams to take over. I think Team Ukyo and also Team Euskaltel have both decided to start chasing the breakaway at 70k to go, so we've got some help. 3.5 kilometers to go, that is the group up there, the breakaway. I'm sprinting way too early with my team because I want to get this done. Fredheim is not looking good. Baudin can launch right now. Fredheim is trying to somewhat follow. We've got 20 seconds to the group. We're not going to be on time. I think we're not going to be on time. The break is about to win, or did we just deliver someone else to the victory? I don't know. It's going to be Pierre-Luc Pédechon riding into a car on the finish line. Yes, indeed. Baudin crossing the line in this 25-man group. Looks like it will probably be counted as one group by the game, I think. There he is, our man on the podium. Alex Baudin, securing the overall of the Vuelta Ciclista a Mallorca, our first stage race of the season with 2 stage wins. What a ride. Let's be honest, not a better way to start off the season in a pretty stacked race, to be honest. The punchy finishes gave us the benefit though. If it was pure climbing, we would have lost significantly. Totally forgot about it before this race started, but this was a sponsor objective with very limited importance, but Alex Baudin had to take a stage win. He got 2 instead, so our sponsor is very happy about us. We're now a month into the second season of our career, and I forgot something. I forgot to do the scouting properly. We set up the scouting initially, we send our scouts to countries, but what then? We also have to start scouting actual riders. From the riders of which we know stats, there's one rider with 64 mountains, Zeymana. He's a rider from Rwanda, and I think I'm going to start scouting the guy with Sawarawogo because he's 17 years old, but he's the 17 that was born right at the right time. What I mean with that is the guy is still going to turn 18 this season. This means that he is one of those scoutable riders that we can sign at the end of the season. I'm only gonna scout riders that I can actually sign, otherwise there's no use in scouting them in my opinion. I'll do the same with Samuele Hausler from Switzerland, there we go, and when it comes to our other scout, Theo Gaillard will be sent with Sasha Aubry. Let's try that out, why not? Now all 3 of our scouts have a rider that they are reporting on as we speak. I might go over this list off camera before the next episode and select some more riders that I actually do want to scout. I'll give you an update in the next episode. But I'm afraid that's gonna be it for this episode. We finish off the first episode of Season 2 after a month in the career mode right here with Alex Baudin winning 2 stages and the overall of Mallorca. So can't complain at all, and wonderful races still to come that we hopefully do just as good at. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye.